This is my audience. This is Sandy, Steve, Leanne, Jonathan, Brennan Morris, and Kendall, and Ashley. This is going to be my audience for tonight and my speech. Tonight I want to talk about how to become a pharmacist. The other day, or last week actually, I was sitting down and I was talking with one of my fellow pharmacists and just looking, and as being a technician in the pharmacy, there are several things that I've recognized that they have a huge responsibility on them to be able to look at people's drugs, medications, and for people to trust them with everything that they have learned to care about their life. Even in that situation, you look at interactions between different drugs, and it makes them important. It makes them not only just important, but they want to take on that responsibility for that. So tonight I really want to talk about a little bit of that. First of all, what does it take to become, and what does it take to be in pharmacy school? First of all, you actually start in undergraduate school. You're looking to really undergraduate, you're getting mainly your core classes. You want to get in most of your chemistries and biologies, biochem, the biggest one of all. And once you get into some of that grad school, you need to start looking into what pharmacies you want to go to. Do you want to stay, in Georgia? Do you want to, get out of Georgia, go out of state to different places, different areas? I know most of the class is actually in Kennesaw State University, so most of the people in this class are actually in Georgia. But looking out of state, you're looking at more expense, more loans you may have to take out for those situations. But backing up just a little bit, when you're looking back at these schools, you're looking mainly, what classes you're going to have, how many hours you're going to have to get into these schools. I know Mercer University, they require 90 hours for core classes and a little couple upper division classes. Now, South University, they require 60 to about 75, sometimes 80, depending on what classes you have. Biggest and most of all is biochem, like I said, but when you get into South, actually, they require you to retake biochem and anatomy and physiology, 1 and 2, looking into the body and how things work. Once you do that, you're really looking into schools, looking at experience. They're looking into, what kind of extracurricular activities you're part of. Like I said, work experience. You want to be able to talk to people. You want to be able to be personal with people. You're definitely on the most personal level you can be with somebody in a pharmacy. They know almost everything about you, everything from top to toe. Another thing they like to see is actually that you're an avid studier. They really want to look into your grades, your GPA. The biggest one of all is actually your PCAT. That is a huge curriculum test they take at the end of all of your classes, generally about 90 hours. Once you get to that area, you actually have to go and sit down in this test, take a couple hours out of your day, and they cover everything, all of your core classes, all of your upper curricular classes that you've taken. Once you have, or if you can maintain a very good GPA and a high PCAT score, then you're going into this competitive area of applying and getting into school. An area that I'm at actually right now is I'm trying to get into school, and I'm in that process. I'm getting ready for an interview. And getting ready for an interview, you have to be ready. You got to get all dressed up, get in a suit. You got to be able to speak clearly, just like this class is trying to teach you. And you're really looking towards being that competitive person for that school. A lot of people trying to get in these spots. Mainly, they're really looking at about 110 to about 150 students entering each year, so about 400 to 500 people entering almost each school. So you're not talking about very many. Another one mainly is when you're applying to these schools, you actually have to use an application service called Pharmacist. Pharmacist is the pharmacy curriculum. Actually, it's an application service. In this service, you put in almost everything. Your extracurriculars, you're looking really into your grades. You have to put each class in, how much, what credit hours you have to have there. Mainly, again, in that scenario, you're looking for work hours. They want to see that you can be personal with somebody, you've been in experience with some of this stuff. A big one that they look at too is compounding. Compounding is something that not many people get to do. That's something that's kind of out of the area, not the norm, and it is something that's more looked at in those areas. Also, when you're done with the PCAT, when you're getting ready to apply, you're getting ready for these interviews. Once you're in, once you get into these areas, there's so many different areas you can go into. First of all, you have hospital pharmacies. You have retail, clinical pharmacies, which one I'm in now is technically a retail/clinical pharmacy. We have a lot of retail area, and at the same time, we definitely do a lot of prescriptions. We're one of the biggest drugstores, I think, in Georgia, actually. Now, even with that, okay, you have to make a decision on what pharmacy do you want to go to. Do you want to try to find nuclear pharmacy? They actually have compounding pharmacy. Nuclear pharmacy actually entails another 2 years to the degree. So when you're done with your undergrad, you get into the doctoral program. It is a 4-year degree from that area. So really entails almost 6 to 8 years. If you decide you want to do the nuclear pharmacy, it turns into 8 years. You actually have to take a lot of nuclear stuff because you're really worried about radiation, even on yourself. You're looking at several different areas that are potentially harmful for yourself, not even the patient that you're trying to work on. Now, once you get there, once you are decided that this is what you want to do, that's where you want to be, go for it. Continue working there. Also, once you get to that area, pharmacy school you have lots of, like I said, different places that you can go. The biggest one of all, for me, actually, I think I'm deciding I want to be into a clinical, like again, retail pharmacy. That's something that I can definitely try to get into. I'm personal with people, and I like to talk. I like to have a good time. I like to smile. I like to care for somebody, not just myself. I'm definitely a people's person, but even in that area. Also, once you're done, once you have that doctoral degree, you're really looking into the board of reviews. That is the last biggest area you're going to have. You have about from 8 to almost 20 people. You have even pharmacy students that are sitting there. You have definitely professors from different places, different areas coming in to see you to see what you're going to do. Also, you have to get your license. Once you've been reviewed by the board, you have a license. You get your license and you're done. You are there, you get to work, and you get to have a good time. To conclude everything, pharmacy, like I said, is where I want to be. That's something I definitely know I want to do, and I hope that I can get in soon. Interview coming, and so hopefully we'll get everything together. But thank you guys for being here and doing this, and I appreciate it. Thank you.